working with B, beach. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and review last week, and we're going to put our C on. So go ahead and make a little ledger line and write our C note. And this is actually going to help us understand a little bit more about where B is. So if you remember, our ledger line is an imaginary line that would kind of be dotted like this. Okay, so B is a space note right below C. So I'm going to draw a whole note right in this space. If that line was continued out, it'd be right here in this space. And this is B. Okay? So he just sits there. He sits right on top of the water line. So he's just sitting on this line. So we're going to go ahead and draw 2 more of those. So here's our whole note. 3 more. Here's our whole note. Let's go ahead and draw a dotted half note B. So I'm drawing a circle. It would be a space note underneath that middle imaginary line. And then he is above the middle line in the treble clef, so his stem is going to go down. Okay? All right, let's draw our little dot. Here's our dotted half note. So here's B that's worth 4, here's B that's worth 3, and then we're going to draw our half note. So draw another circle, put another stem. Here's B as a half note, and then we're going to draw one more circle and a stem. And then to fill him in for a quarter note, we just do this, and he's worth 1. So 4, 3, 2, 1, there's our B's. And if you'll notice, C is just right above that as the line note. And just for fun, you don't need to know this, but I can actually draw B as a note in my treble clef as well. If I want my right hand to play him, I can add a ledger line and draw my B. Okay, here he is. And then I'm just going to put the stem up like this. And then my treble clef would play this guy. And a lot of times it's spaced out, so these lines might drop farther below, but this B would look the same. He'd have this ledger line on top of him, showing that he's just below middle C. Okay, you don't need to know that till later, but I just wanted to show you. All right, go ahead and turn to your workbook. We are starting on page 33. At the top it says, pretend that the bass clef is actually bass bay. The top line is the surface of the water, okay? And beach is just above the water. And a boat floats on the surface of the water, okay? So you can imagine this is like a boat just floating here on the surface, this B note. So our directions say, use the note circles below to draw different things that start with B that you might find floating on the water. Then you're going to name them on the lines below. So I went ahead and I drew a boat with my circle B and wrote boat below. You could probably think of a lot of things that could float on the water, like a beach ball, a basketball, a bird. I'm not going to give you any more. There's a whole bunch, okay? So go ahead and draw some different things on these notes or in them. You can draw them in them too. And write their names below. And then it says, is B beach a line note or a space note? So I want you to fill that in right there, whatever you think. Is it a line note or a space note? Go ahead and pause the video and complete this page. Coming back to page 34, at the top it says, color all the middle C's, camp chairs, blue, and color all the B's, beaches, brown. So I'm going to give you an example. Here's a middle C. I would color this little note blue. Then right next to it, here I have a B. I'm going to color him brown. Now there are a lot of notes that are not C's and B's that are going to try to distract you, okay? So make sure you're looking for the notes that are here in the middle on the ledger line for C's, and just below that, sitting on this top line, are our B's. So go ahead and do that. And then at the bottom, you're going to count how many C's there are and write it right here. And then count how many B's there are and write it here on this line. Pause the video to complete this assignment and then come on back. We are going to start with our flashcards, something called flashcard dash. Now, up at the top, it says my time, and here's the reason why. Our star says label the notes underneath the flashcards, time yourself, and see how fast you can go. Can you beat 15 seconds? Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to find a timer. You can do this on if you have an Alexa, or if you have anything, you can get a watch or a phone timer, whatever you want. You actually don't even have to time yourself if you don't have a timer, but if you do, it's more fun that way. So you'll hit your timer, say go, and then you're going to be writing which note these are below. So if you notice, this is we're going to give you a clue, a B, and then here we have a C, so you're going to start that way, and you're going to time yourself, see how long it takes to just finish these few notes, and then you'll write your time above here. So go ahead and do that, and that is the end of our notes lesson today.